Just give it a minute. All right, there we go. We are now live on YouTube. What's up? Welcome back to another stream. First, I'm doing some reactions, as you can see on the title, and also I'll play some games. Probably some college football 26 and possibly some dispatch tonight. We'll see, but that's the plan. All right. Let's look at the first MPG video. I guess I'll watch this one. Alabama loses a key player plus starter to the portal plus more. All right, man, let's go.
Girls, hope I'll be having a great weekend. Hope I'll be having a great day, or a better day than Alabama fans, that is. If not, hope this video can make it a little bit better. And man, oh man, we got some more breaking news for Alabama football. And if you are an Alabama fan, you might want to turn away. You might want to click off this video because it's more bad news, unfortunately. I hate to be the bearer of bad news, but we got to get into it. Ironically enough, yesterday we talked about how not 1, not 2, not 3, not 4, not 5, not 6, not even 7, not even 8, not even 9, but 10, count them. 10 Alabama players, they entered the transfer portal within 48 hours of the Rose Bowl. We talked plenty about that. If you haven't seen that video, feel free to check it out for yourself. And as an Alabama fan, when you see that or you hear that news, you go, okay, well, yeah, it's not great news, but at least we got all the bad stuff out of the way. It can't get too much worse, right? Well, here we are. It got worse. If you got to ask me, the news that has came out today is way worse than the news we talked about yesterday, because although you had 10-plus Alabama players leave, enter the portal, whatever you want to call it, the guys that have left today, they were quote-unquote key players. Pete Thamel's words, not mine. And I would agree with it. Sadly, multiple key players, not just one, but multiple key players have just left Alabama. We got a lot to talk about and divulge into. This is the one other thing we're going to talk about. Also want to throw this in there due to high demand. We've officially created a community on Twitter. I'll pop it up on the screen for you guys right here. It is Matt B. Great's community, where we'll just give constant updates on college football stuff and channel stuff. I know I'm late to the party with this. I should have done it at the beginning of the year, but
Yep, I'm in the community, by the way. Already
like
in
they
it.
say, better late than never. It's also a place where you guys can talk amongst yourself about college football. You can joke on me, anything. I've had a lot of people asking about that. I know we have a YouTube community, but this is also on Twitter. So if you are one of the people asking or you're interested, here it is. I've had some people asking, well, Matt, what's the point of this community? It is talked about yesterday. So if you didn't watch that video, long story away, let's talk about this Alabama news. I'm going to piggyback off of what we talked about yesterday.
Yeah, I think Jalen McBakwe, he's going to Georgia Tech, and I don't know about Richard Young yet, but I know for sure he's going to Georgia Tech.
Today. So if you didn't watch that video, long story short, Alabama had 10 players enter the portal within 48 hours, like we already said earlier. You're looking at the players right here. Are any of these what I would label as notable guys leaving? No, not if you got to ask me. None of these guys started. You're not really losing much production at all. I believe at max, maybe 2 or 3 of those guys on this list could have won a starting job next year. But what was the one thing we harped on in that video? All the Alabama haters are going to say, yes, this is awesome. The dynasty's over. This is the start to it. Why? Because they have Bama fatigue. And what did I say all the Alabama fans' rebuttal to that is going to be? Well, no, these aren't key players. They didn't do anything for us. And I agree with my Alabama fans, but I am going to play devil's advocate a little bit. Yes, these aren't big losses. However, it's not a good sign when you lose 10 players. You can sit up all you want and say, well, Matt, I don't think it's a bad thing. But here's where I'm going at with this. It's not great. It's not good news. And how did we end off that video yesterday if you stuck around to watch to the end? I said, all in all, I don't think it's that big of a deal for Alabama. And as a Bama fan, I wouldn't be too worried about it. It's Alabama. They're going to rebuild. They're going to reload. They always lose 10 to 20 guys to a portal every single season. Fast forward time into today, one of our very reliable sources on the channel, Pete Thamel, broke the news, and I'm going to read this off word for word. 2 key Alabama players are heading to the NCAA transfer portal. Alabama starting right tackle Wilkin Formby is entering the NCAA transfer portal, he told ESPN. He started 14 games this year for the Tide this year. I don't know why they put this year twice, but I'm just reading off word for word. Alabama defensive end Keon Keeley tells ESPN that he's entering the NCAA.
Man. Hey, South Carolina, man. We need some offensive linemen. Just saying.
Transfer portal. He's the former #1 defensive end from the class of 2023 and ESPN's #12 overall recruit that year. He had 3 sacks this year and a big one against Oklahoma. Do y'all remember on that transfer portal video I made a couple days ago where I said, look, it's about to get crazy. You might want to buckle up. Let's just say I was hinting at stuff like this. I couldn't release the news until it officially got released, but this is what I was referring to. This wasn't a decision that Formby and Keely made this morning. This has been in the work for a couple of days now. And you're going to have so many people saying, well, why didn't you report on it then and there? I can't do that. I'd lose my sources. But that's right besides the point. The point is, it's now official, and I can officially report on it and talk about it. And here we are. We'll start with this one first. I'd say this is one of the more meaningful ones because you're talking about a starter. It's not like, oh, because you'll see some people, whenever a guy enters a portal, say, oh, well, we just had a starter leave, but he only started 7, 8, or 9 games. No. Formby started 14 games for Alabama this year. Dang near all of them. If I were a Bama fan, which I am, but I'm giving you analyst Matt, that's who's talking to you right now. If I were a Bama fan, would I be highly upset about Formby leaving? Would I be pushing the panic button going, no, Timothy and Bobby, you were right. Brad and Chad, you were right. The dynasty's over. Oh, my gosh. We had a terrible offensive line this year. And now our starting right tackle, he's leaving. It's going to get worse. Oh, my goodness. Would I be doing any of that? Absolutely not. Heck to no. You know what I'd be doing if I'm a Bama fan and this is the first time you're seeing this news? Clapping it up. I'd be celebrating. Go to the Mexican restaurant tonight and get you some cheese dip to celebrate. Not even just the
cheese.
salsa. You're big ball.
He said cheese dip. That is crazy.
You get cheese dip as an appetizer. Celebrate. Do whatever you got to do. I'm not going to sit up here and say it's great news for Alabama. But I'm close, and I mean, I'm pushing it. I'm trying to be reasonable to saying it's good news. Because Formby was awful, with all due respect, for Alabama this year. You know how Ty Simpson had, what he finished with? 8 fumbles this year, 7 fumbles. It was something absurd like that. You know how he had all those fumbles? Well, you can thank Formby for about 3 of those. And when Ty Simpson was getting destroyed in half of the games this year, you can also thank Formby for that. He got his lunch ate against Missouri. I've never seen anything like that. The guy was just not very good. He wasn't. There's no sugarcoating it. And here's the thing. He may go somewhere next year and ball out, and people are going to say, well, what happened? Why did he suck at Alabama? Well, that doesn't change the fact that he was awful for Alabama this year. Wishing him the best of luck. There's no bad blood between me and Formby, but this is one of those things where I'm like, good, as a Bama fan. Let him go. Let him walk. Alabama couldn't run the ball this year in pass protection. Sometimes it was good. Sometimes it was dog crap. That's all I got to say about that. Our other, what we're labeling as a key player, according to Pete Thamel, that's entered the portal, Keon Keeley. And I would agree with that as well. This would have been a starter next year. Keon Keeley, it seemed like he was coming to his own in the end of the season. He was getting some sacks here and there, and he was getting more playing time. I wouldn't say this one's really shocking, but I was more so being hopeful that he would return because I'm like, okay, he's starting to get his feet wet, and he is playing a little bit more. But Keon Keeley, he's been a big mystery at Alabama. If you're a Bama fan, you can vouch for me, and you know this because people thought he was going to come in as a freshman and start playing right away, but he's been behind pace. You see it right here. This was the number 2 overall, let me say that again, number 2 overall recruit.
Number 2 overall recruit in the 2023 class.
In the 2023 class. This guy was a beast coming out of high school. There were people comparing him to Will Anderson. Let that sink in. And
Will Anderson? So he was getting compared to Will Anderson.
We're saying he could be better than him. Obviously, he hasn't lived up to the hype, and you can only assume, or I feel like you got to assume, the reason he's in the portal is because he just wants to have guaranteed playing time, and I don't fault him for it. I say this with all the Alabama players. I appreciate all your hard work. I hate it didn't work out, but wish you the best of luck. This one hurts way more than the Formby one. Sure, they both would have been starters, but Formby, like we talked about, he was just really bad this year, and Keon Keeley was only getting better and better and better every single week. I know he didn't play a lot, and he wasn't really what I label as an impact player, but he would have been next year. So I don't know what went down in the meeting room, but the bottom line is he's entering the portal. Not good news for the defense, but it is what it is, and it doesn't end there. Alabama's wide receiver, Rico Scott, he's entering the portal. Former 4-star recruit. I'm not going to label this as a key player because Alabama is so deep in the wide receiver room. It's not even funny. The only position that I'm confident in Alabama heading into 2026 is a wide receiver room, to put it into a better perspective. Everything else, I have big question marks. Alabama's going to be fine there. They got Williams coming back, and I know Williams has catching problems, but he'll be okay. You got to believe he'll get better. They got Brooks, and the list goes on and on and on. And there was one more player that entered the portal. Oh, yeah, Mr. Cam, I was about to say Coleman. No, Cam Calhoun, defensive back. But this one is the same as the other players like we talked about, very similar to Keon Keeley. he wants to play and he wants more of an opportunity, so he's going to be going elsewhere. So in total, we now have, as to when I'm speaking, making this video, could be more by the time you guys see it, we've had 4 players enter the portal today, and that now brings our total up to 14 within the last 72 hours from the Rose Bowl. And I'm here to tell you right now, I can't tell you too much. I hate to leave you with a cliffhanger, but there's going to be some more. I want to read off a couple comments on the recent video. I don't know if these are Alabama fans, but these are just great points. Shout out to Vanderbilt, Alex Singleton 2041. What a username. That's a heck of a username, but I low-key like it. Matt, 31% of the players in college football are in the portal. No big deal. I agree. WT Gardner 1 said, every team is losing players to the portal. Anyone who thought UA would not is just delusional. I also agree. Chris said, losing to Indiana has nothing to do with guys going into the portal. They are leaving because of playing time. Get used to it. Will happen every year. And last but not least, I mean, these are all just identical comments. Losing players is just the way of life at this point. It won't matter in the long run. I agree. I hope it doesn't come off this way. I'm not trying to be over dramatic or overhyped this stuff that Alabama has players leaving, but it is news, big time news at that, especially for the offseason, and that's just our job here. I mean, we got to report on that stuff. I hope you guys understand that. It's also Alabama. Anytime people hear that 10 players are leaving Alabama, they lose their minds. But I think most of us in our community, we know, hey, this is going to happen every single year. You have to understand me, you, every single one of you watching this video, we're diehards. It's your casual fans that overreact to this stuff. They see 10 Alabama players entering the portal. What do they immediately attach it to? Oh, the dynasty's falling off. Oh,
Yeah,
well,
they always say that. Just, oh, they're falling off, or Bama's not going to be as good. Well, yeah, Bama's going to suck now, and, you know, all those comments.
they must be leaving because of the blowout loss to Indiana. No. Everybody's losing players. With that being said, I'm not going back on what I said in this video. This one stings a little bit, losing Keon Keeley. The Rico Scott, Cam Calhoun, and the other guy, Formby, no, not really, whatever. Not throwing shade at them, but it's just like, come on, man. Those guys didn't do anything this year, so not a big loss. But Keon Keeley, he would have helped us out next year. And here's why this one hurts so bad. Alabama has pretty much, or not even pretty much, they have developed Keon Keeley. They got him to the weight room, got him caught up to speed with college football the past 2 or 3 years. Now, whoever gets him next, you're getting a guy who has been developed already. Alabama groomed Keeley to be a good college football player, and now they're not even going to reap the rewards from that. That's the bad thing. Like we say on the channel, it is what it is. I'll keep you guys updated. You know how we do things around here on the channel. Let me know your thoughts down below.
All right, man. Okay. All right, so apparently Kurt Cinetti, he's got a new quarterback coming next year. Let's see who it is. Kurt Cinetti already found his new quarterback. Let's go.
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, hope all of you had a great weekend. Hope all of you having a great Sunday night. If not, hope this video can make it a little bit better. And man, oh man, we got some big time breaking news involving guess who? Your #1 team in the nation. It's unanimous. There's no argument, no debate. The Indiana Hoosiers. Yes, that's right. You heard me correctly. We got a situation involving them and their not current quarterback, Fernando Mendoza. Shout out to him who won the Heisman Trophy, but their new quarterback coming in next year. Big shout out to Kalshi for sponsoring this video. On Kalshi,
We do not care.
of it, he's preparing for his semifinal game against the Oregon Duckies, and on the other side of it, he's still recruiting. We'll talk more about this in just a second, a little foreshadowing, but I'm starting to think Kurt Cinetti may be a quarterback whisperer, and especially when it comes to transfer portal quarterbacks. He knows what he's doing. May I remind you, his 2 recent quarterbacks, Curtis Rourke and Fernando Mendoza, transfers. So it's not like he's developing guys. He's getting guys that are already developed, and he's turning them into monsters. We're going to talk all about that. We also got some news involving other quarterbacks in the country, including Sam Levitt and Brennan Sorsby. There's another guy we're going to talk about a little bit, and you may have heard of him. He goes by the name of Jackson Arnold. Yeah, that's right. You know
what's
who
going
he
on
is.
with Jackson Arnold?
Looking like he has found his new home, and it is interesting. Very interesting, to say the least. We're getting straight into this. I don't have time to waste. You don't have time
Yeah,
to
he's
waste
going to Vegas, right?
either. You know what? Since I just brought it up, let's start with Arnold. It is being predicted, according to Pete Nakos, that he is going to be heading to UNLV. Ooh, very, 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 very interesting. If you got to ask me, you know why? Who's the head coach there? I'll give you a couple seconds, Timothy and Bobby. It's Dan Mullen. When you take all things into account that UNLV, they don't have high expectations, there's not a high standard there, and it's a group of 5 school, I think this is a match made in heaven for both parties. Is Jackson Arnold a good quarterback? Not really, not by any stretch of imagination. When it comes to SEC schools like Oklahoma and Auburn Tigers, but he'll be good for UNLV. I would say that's one of those rare win-win case and scenarios, and I'm wishing him the best of luck. I think he'll thrive there. Just hasn't had a good career up until this point. I'm not going to harp on it too much because we know what has led us up until this point with Jackson Arnold. Moving along here, we got another quarterback update. We didn't even bring his name up in the intro. Notre Dame's backup, Kenny Minchey. He's heading to Nebraska, the Cornhuskers. How about that? For those of you who don't know, because you may be going, well, what about Ravioli? He's already in the portal. Nebraska, they're in the market for a new quarterback. It's looking like this may be their guy. I can't really speak on Kenny Minchey too much because I don't know anything about him, and we haven't seen him play. I've heard he's talented, and maybe if you want to cling to this, if you're a Nebraska fan, I wouldn't blame you. He almost beat out C.J. Carr for a starting spot. That quarterback battle at Notre Dame, it went on up until week 1. The only good thing I can say about him is he has a lot of talent and potential, but that's all it is. Talent and potential. We don't know if it's going to work out. I know that sounds like I'm being a negative Nancy and just being overall negative in general, but to me, that's reality. Wish him the best of luck. And moving along to this one, it's looking like this is all but a done deal. Brennan Sorsby, Cincinnati's quarterback, it's looking like he's heading to Texas Tech. We've been talking
not surprised. I knew he was going to Texas Tech.
about Sorsby a lot recently. I've said the same thing. I'm not high on him. And I've seen a bunch of you on the comment section saying, what are you talking about, Matt? You don't know Ball Sorsby. He's a good quarterback. I just don't see it. You're not going to get me to change my mind. I watched him play this year at Cincinnati. I didn't watch all the games. I'm not going to lie to you guys, but I watched some of them. Most importantly, the one that sticks out the most to me was the game, was it week 1 against Nebraska? He literally lost the game for Cincinnati on that bonehead interception. What was he thinking? I'm not saying I don't like the guy. I'm not saying I don't think he's a decent quarterback, but to me, that's all he is, decent. But when you're talking about he's going to a playoff team, no. I don't think he's good enough to lead Texas Tech back to the playoffs if he wins a starting job. There's also some rumors going on. He may wind up at LSU. I'm like, why would Kiffin go after this guy? He's not good enough to lead you to the playoffs. That's my opinion on it. Will he prove me wrong? I guess we'll have to wait and see. Speaking of LSU, this is a developing story I'm following closely. They are going to be hosting Sam Leavitt. Yeah, that's really fascinating. Because from all the reports we've been seeing and reading the past couple of days, it was being reported that Leavitt was going to go to either Kentucky or Texas Tech. Well, now with Sorsby going to Texas Tech, you can cross that one out, and Kentucky's the only one left, but now he's visiting LSU. I'll put it to you like this. If you're an LSU fan, I wouldn't be too opposed to it. Leavitt's got a ton of talent, and I think he'd thrive in that Lane Kiffin offense and system. It is.
Yeah, I think that's a good place for him.
It's just a visit as to when I'm reporting on this. You
Or a
already
good
know I'll
team
keep
for
you
him.
updated if anything changes. Let's get into the Indiana stuff, though. They just found their quarterback for next year. Already, I know. This year's not even over. They're fighting to win a national championship, and they're already ready to go for 2026. I'm telling you, Indiana and Vanderbilt, they're not going anywhere anytime soon. I know everybody associates Indiana with basketball, but you better start associating them with college football. I'm going
Yeah,
to show
they're
you
a football school now.
right here. They just landed, and this isn't like, oh, it might happen. No, he's already committed. Josh Hoover, former TCU quarterback. I love this. Hoover was a baller at TCU. Why did nobody talk about him, you may ask? That's a great question, Bobby. I love to answer it. Because he played for TCU. It's like Cam Coleman, the wide receiver. Why did nobody talk about Cam Coleman? Because every single time I say he's a baller and he's a stud, what do people say in the comments? Well, it can't be that much of a stud, Matt. I haven't heard too much about him. It's because he plays for sorry and sucky Auburn. They went 5-7. Nobody's going to bring him up in any conversations. Same thing with Josh Hoover. Now, TCU was way better in Auburn, but you get the point. They weren't relevant. Hoover was slinging the rock this year. They went 9-4, beat USC in that crazy game. Don't even get me started on USC. They got to work on tackling. That made me mad for USC fans. But he finished in the top 25, or my apologies, top 30 in the nation in QBR this year. He hit a QBR of 73.6, 29 touchdowns, 13 INTs. These numbers aren't going to wow you, but I'm telling you, Cincinnati, he's going to clean that up. Had 3,400 passing yards. That was top 15 in the nation. And Cincinnati cleaned up Mendoza as well. Let me remind you of that. The guy who just won the Heisman Trophy. You know when Mendoza was at California in his first year, he had 14 touchdowns, 10 interceptions.
Okay, 10 interceptions in his freshman year. And then 16 touchdowns, 6 interceptions.
Second year, 16 touchdowns, 6 interceptions. Not a great ratio. Then he gets to Indiana, bada bing, bada boom, 36 tutties to only 6 INTs. You can't make this stuff up. Sinetti knows what he's doing when he's evaluating the quarterback position. In my humble opinion, I think this is a great pickup for Indiana, but I don't think enough people are talking about Sinetti and what he's been able to do at the quarterback position. Look at his last 2 quarterbacks. Fernando Mendoza, Heisman Trophy winner. But everybody forgot about this guy, Curtis Rourke. Sinetti is so good, and he's been so good.
Where did Curtis Rourke transfer from? When he joined the Hoosiers?
At his job, he had people talking about Curtis Rourke for Heisman. Think about that. You haven't even heard of Rourke since college football. And he had people talking about him in the Heisman Trophy conversation. Let that sink in. Not trying to disrespect Curtis Rourke, but it's just to tell you, it's a lot to do with this system he's building there. It's not really a coinky doink that Curtis Rourke was putting up Heisman Trophy contending numbers. People were talking about him for the Heisman Trophy, and then Mendoza goes out there and he does the same thing and he wins a trophy. It's all part of the Indiana offensive system. And if I was a quarterback, I would love to play there. You know why? Not because you're going to throw the ball 50 times a game. It's actually the opposite, because you're not going to throw the ball 50 times a game. Let me explain. Did you notice all year long Mendoza wasn't really throwing for 400 yards a game, wasn't throwing for 500? It wasn't anything crazy. Heading into the Rose Bowl, guess who averaged more passing yards between him and Ty Simpson? Ty Simpson. Mendoza the entire year was throwing the ball only about 20 max, 25 times per game. And you saw it in the Alabama game. He finished that one 14 for 16 with 3 touchdowns. He had more touchdowns than incompletions. But why is that? And why is it such a quarterback-friendly offense? Because you get great run support with the run-pass option plays. It makes it so much easier for a quarterback to play quarterback when you have a good rushing attack, because it keeps the defense on their heels. Look at the first couple of drives Indiana had against Alabama. Not when the game was out of hand, but the first couple of drives. The second drive of the game where Indiana kicked a field goal, yeah, I know it was just a field goal, but that was a 9-minute drive, 16 plays. Why was it so long and lengthy? Because they just dinked and dimed their way down the field, and they just took what the defense gave them. If I were a transfer portal quarterback, Indiana would be number 1 for me. That's where I would want to play quarterback at. I think everybody gets too infatuated with schools that throw the ball 50 times per game, and you're like, oh, man, I'd love to play quarterback there and throw for 500 yards. But there's a reason you're throwing for 500 yards. Because you're playing in games that are close and high scoring. You don't really want that as a quarterback. If you are routinely throwing for 400, 500 yards, it's because your team is in tight-knit, close, and high-scoring games week after week after week, which isn't really too great. And also, you know what it means? You probably don't have a lot of run success and run support, which is going to make it 10 times harder on you. I'm calling it right now. Sinetti's going to have Josh Hoover playing just as good, if not better, than Mendoza and Curtis Rourke. That's the Indiana system, and it works great. Many more things I could say. We're going to end off here. I'm curious. Let me know your thoughts down below. But
Yeah. I mean, they not only they brought Josh Hoover. I seen Indiana. They have like even more. They brought in even more players in the transfer portal, like from the transfer portal. Like, dude, Kirk Sinetti's cooking right now, man. He really is. All right. Okay, so there's apparently some rumors. I heard about this, and I'm pretty sure I mentioned this yesterday. Ty Simpson is leaving Alabama? All right, man, let's check it out.
ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, hope all be having a great start to your week. Hope all be having a great Monday. If not, hope this video can make it a little bit better. And man, oh man, we got to talk about a developing story I'm paying attention to and following closely. And also, we're going to take a look at some of the rumors that have been flying around involving this developing story, because they go hand in hand. What's going on, you may ask? That's a great question, Timothy and Bobby. Fantastic question. I'd love to answer it. It's looking like Ty Simpson, he may be leaving Alabama. I think it's more than safe to say this is a massive deal, if you got to ask me, because we're talking about the quarterback of the best college football program of all time. That is arguably the most important position in all of college football, the quarterback for the University of Alabama. It is a very hard thing to do to play the quarterback position there because you're going to get scrutinized for every single thing you do. Ask Jalen Milroe. But it comes with the territory. There's a lot of pressure there. And Ty Simpson, he's been in Alabama for 4 years now. He's been dreaming of being the starting quarterback there. Nick Saban is the one who recruited him in the first place. But with the way the season ended for Alabama and the way Ty Simpson's year ended, it has a lot of people questioning, does he even want to play quarterback at Alabama even if he doesn't go to the NFL? I've said before, I'm going to say it again. I don't care if you got Tom Brady back there. If you don't have a good offensive line, it doesn't amount to a hill of beans. We saw it with Brady and the Buccaneers. That one year he had the bad O-line, he didn't even look good. And Ty Simpson's offensive line this year, sometimes were good, other times not. They were shaky, and that's sugarcoating it. He was always getting hit, there was always pressure in his face, and he could rarely step into his throws. And we saw what Ty Simpson could do when he has time. Heck, the first half of the season, he was your Heisman frontrunner. There's a lot of news going on in college football, a lot of stuff going on within the transfer portal, but this topic is so important. It's the one and only thing we're going to be talking about. Also, too, I just checked the community tab on Twitter. If you haven't joined it, feel free to join. It's 100% free. Why is this the first thing I see? Let's go, Marty. And where did you get this picture of me? And I told you I got a full head of hair.
Okay, yeah, that is kind of weird. Just how do you even get this picture?
You see it right here. And the waves are coming in 2028 as well. But that is besides the point. Let's get into what's going on with Mr. Ty Simpson. Here is one of the first reports I've had everybody send to me, and all this has been transpiring within the past 48 hours. Trending, Alabama star Ty Simpson could be looking to enter the transfer portal and go to either Tennessee or Oregon if he does not get a first-round draft grade, according to Tom Lloyd at 24/7 Sports. Simpson played very well for Crimson Tide this year, but played some of his worst games down the stretch, potentially tanking his draft stock. If he came back, he would definitely make big, in all caps, money. Ooh. What about that? I don't know about y'all, but for me, this is the first I've heard of anybody even talking about he would potentially enter the transfer portal. I'm not really shocked by it, and I'll throw this out there right now. If a report came out tomorrow or in a week or so that Ty Simpson, he's going to be entering the portal and he's leaving Alabama, it wouldn't shock me then either. I'll address the Oregon and Tennessee rumors in just a second, but I can't even act like I'd be mad about it, and I can't even act like it'd be a bad decision because Alabama's offensive line, for those of you who don't know, I believe they've already had 6 offensive linemen enter the portal. It's going to be a complete rebuild. And he just played there this year with an offensive line that was supposed to be quote-unquote good heading into the season. As we saw, they were not good. They were far from good. So does he really want to be the experimental quarterback for next year while the offensive line's being pieced together in the transfer portal? I don't think so. I'm not saying Alabama won't have a good offensive line next year, but it is going to be an experiment, and you're going to have a lot of guys that they're just bringing in out of the portal and they're plugging and playing them. I can't harp on this enough. It's not just going to be like, oh, Alabama's getting a couple new offensive linemen. No. It's going to be a brand new offensive line outside of 1 or 2 guys. I know Alabama has a really good wide receiver room, but I'd argue and say having a better offensive line is way more important because it doesn't matter if you got prime White Randy out there or Julio Jones. You can't get on the ball if your offensive line can't block. As far as it goes for him going to Tennessee or Oregon, I don't really understand the Oregon one, and that's why I'm labeling this as a...
Yeah, that Oregon makes no sense, but him going to Tennessee makes sense because Ty Simpson, he is from Tennessee. He is born and raised, well, yeah, he's from Tennessee. He is from Tennessee.
A rumor, I don't know if there's any substance there behind that. The Tennessee one, though, that does make sense, even if people are just kind of guessing. And like I said, these are all rumors because for those who don't know, he is from Tennessee, and that's where his dad currently coaches college football. Tennessee also needs a good quarterback. They probably are going to have a better offensive line than Alabama, and the Tennessee fans, they'd love to have them. Not to say that Ty Simpson didn't like the pressure at Alabama, not to say that he didn't like the criticism, but at Tennessee, I don't feel like there's as much. But I got to be honest with you, I don't really view him as a even good fit in that Josh Heupel offense because who's been the best Josh Heupel quarterbacks? Mobile ones. And Ty Simpson, he's not a guy that's going to be running for, 50, 75, 100 yards per game. Max is getting 20, 25 yards. Before we move on, let me say this again. This report you're looking at right here, him potentially in the portal going to Oregon or Tennessee, I wouldn't believe it. I just think it's a pure rumor. That's all. But we do have to cover it because a lot of people are sending it to me. But let's move along here to what isn't a rumor, and this is a developing story from one of our very reliable sources on the channel, Pete Nako. Shout out to Pete. We're going to read this off word for word. New Alabama quarterback Ty Simpson's agent, Peter Webb, on Simpson's future plans via Pete Nako. So this is coming from On3. Y'all know On3. We use a bunch of their posts. Shout out to them. And I quote, "No decisions have been made about Ty declaring for the draft at this point, and he is still evaluating everything with his family and close advisors." Huh. Interesting. So you notice, and this is coming from his agent, there was no mention of, well, he hasn't really thought about entering the portal. No. No portal mentioned in this quote, statement, whatever you want to call it, whatsoever. This is insinuating that Ty Simpson's decision is whether or not he should declare for the NFL draft, not declare for the portal. And if you got to ask me, that is the only thing Alabama fans should be worried about or concerned about. Is Ty Simpson going to go to the NFL draft, or is he going to come back next year? That is the only legitimate conversation we should be having. I know there's going to be a lot of speculation and rumors flying around, but I'll put it to you like this. Unless it's one of our reliable sources we talk about on the channel, if you just see some random account on Twitter posting something, please, not for my sake, but for your sake, please don't just immediately believe it. You guys are smart. Do your own
Yeah,
research.
I mean, it's pretty obvious. You can't just believe everything.
Click on the profile. See if it's legit. If it seems legit, and you
Yeah,
don't-
obviously, just like he said, just click on the profile, see if they're legit. Sometimes it can be parody accounts, making jokes and memes. Just be careful and don't believe everything, obviously.
believe it, well, that's up to you, but just do a tad bit of research. Because I know a bunch of you watching this video, I'd say 95% are like, man, I wouldn't even believe for a split second Ty Simpson's going to Tennessee or Oregon. But you got to understand, just to put into a better perspective, I had about 50 people send this to me, so some people believe it. Just clarifying that right now. As far as it goes for if I were an Alabama fan, would I prefer Ty Simpson to go to the NFL draft or come back to Alabama? I don't really think it matters too much. Do I view Ty Simpson as an elite quarterback? No. Could he be elite? Absolutely. But here's the thing you got to understand. It's not like Alabama has some bums in the quarterback room. They arguably, this year and next year, are going to have one of the best quarterback rooms in the nation. Austin Mack, we saw him in the Rose Bowl. He made a couple of nice throws, and they got the 5-star.
Yeah, he did. I agree. Austin Mack, he did make some good throws when he came in for Ty Simpson when he got injured.
Jalen Russell, we've heard great things about him. I know Alabama fans, they're just ready to move on from Ty Simpson. They do this every single year like they were ready to move on from Jalen Milroe. I don't know if it's because they want something new or they're just not happy with their performance, but you saw a lot of Alabama fans tweeting out this year, dang, I feel bad for critiquing Milroe because he really wasn't that bad. It was the offensive line that was bad. And I'll be the first to tell you, I think we could have used Milroe's legs this year. Did Milroe have some disastrous turnovers, passes, and plays in general? Yes, he did. But he was good for Alabama all in all. That year, not the most recent, or not this year in 2025, but in 2023, he carried that team to the
Yeah, that's when Milroe peaked, right? 2023. That's when he peaked. That was his best year at Alabama.
national championship. That wasn't a championship game, but it felt like it. The Rose Bowl against Michigan to the college football playoff. He carried that team. That team had no business even getting into the playoff. And I'm not saying they didn't deserve it. They did deserve that spot. I mean, they just weren't that good. I've seen way better Alabama teams in my life. The Bryce Young team that lost to Tennessee in 2022, lost to LSU in overtime, that team was better than Milroe's team that made the playoff. And why was Milroe so good for Alabama? I know he wasn't that great of a passer, not near as good as a passer as Ty Simpson, but it's because our offensive line was shaky and he could just run around defenders. He's an athletic specimen and freak. But Alabama fans, and when I say Bama fans, just know, anytime I say that, I'm including myself, we have a very bad tendency of when the offense is struggling, who do we blame? And every fan base does this. We point the finger at the quarterback. Sometimes the critiquing of Ty Simpson and Jalen Milroe, it was more than fair. Other times, not so much. I gave Jalen Milroe a hard time. Do you deserve it sometimes? Absolutely. Other times, no. And same thing with Ty Simpson. But I think Alabama fans just want to, or they were ready to move on from Milroe, and they are ready to move on from Ty Simpson because they view it as, oh, well, we didn't win a championship with this quarterback. That means he's no good. We got to move on. Let's put in Jalen Russell or Austin Mack. Let me remind you, the grass isn't always greener on the other side. I'll give you the Bama fan in me for just a second. I would love for Ty Simpson to come back next year because there's no guesses. You don't have to head into week 1 or week 2 or week 3 going, oh, gosh, I hope Ty Simpson's ready. Hope he's going to live up to the hyper expectations. It's Ty Simpson. We saw him this year. He's going to be a good quarterback. With Austin Mack or Keelan Russell, whoever wins that starting quarterback job, if it's between them, you don't know if they're going to be good in week 1. You don't know if they're going to lay an egg. But I can guarantee you this, Ty Simpson, he won't do that. My point is, you're taking a risk with Austin Mack or Keelan Russell because they're not established and proven quarterbacks. Ty Simpson is. But in life, as we know, sometimes you got to risk it to get the biscuit. Austin Mack or Keelan Russell, they could wind up being way better than Ty Simpson. That is certainly a possibility. So all in all, I would love for Ty Simpson to come back. I would welcome him in with open arms. I mean, who wouldn't? I think you'd be dumb not to. But on the flip side of it, if he decides, you know what, I think my draft stock's pretty high, I can't improve it too much, I'm going to go to the NFL draft, that's just fine as well. I'm not going to be stressing about the quarterback position in Alabama when you got Austin Mack and Keelan Russell in there. Alabama's going to be more than okay. I think Alabama fans should be following this closely because here's the other side to it we haven't even talked about up until this point. If Ty Simpson does decide to go to the NFL, well, that means you're going to get both. I would, if I had to give my best educated guess, I would say that Russell and Mack, they would both return. However, if Ty Simpson decides to return to Alabama, there is no way Mack and Keelan Russell both are coming back to Alabama.
Yeah, one of them is entering the portal, 100%. It's either Mack or Keelan would enter the portal if Ty Simpson returns.
If not, both of those guys would be entering the portal. Because you got to think about it, and I wouldn't blame them. Austin Mack and Keelan Russell both, I know Russell's a freshman, but still, they just sat the bench the entire year. I don't care what any athlete says to you if they say this or lying. No athlete is just okay with sitting the bench 2 years in a row. You'll sit the bench 1 year in a row, but not 2. And if they say they're okay with that, they're straight up lying. Do I blame these athletes? Absolutely not. I played sports. I bet 99.9% of you watching this video, you played sports. And what's the point of playing sports? I know I'm going to sound like a rocket scientist when I say this. I know I'm going to sound like Albert Einstein. But the point of playing sports is you want to play. The only athletes in the history of being an athlete that are okay with and maybe cool with being a bench player are guys that are in the major leagues, the NBA, or the NFL because you're getting paid to sit the bench. And even at that, I can assure you 99% of the bench players in the NFL or NBA would tell you, yeah, I want to get more minutes. I want more playing time. This will be an interesting situation to keep up with, and you already know I'll keep you updated. Let me know your thoughts down below. But
All right.
You know, every so often
Not yet. Okay, now let's move on to some. Would I call it real world events? Would I call it that? Maybe not. But actually, let's move on to
the first question that
video that's about Twitter. So Twitter has a huge gooner problem. All right, let's see what's the problem?
y'all are gonna ask after clicking on this video is, Cam, why did you cut the hair? Back in your other videos, you were looking like you were top 5. You were
Oh, he cut his hair. I mean, obviously he has a do-rag on. Why would you wear a do-rag if you had an afro?
there with Marlon, Michael B. Jordan, and every other dude that looks good. Why would you cut the hair? Like, are you dumb? I'm gonna be so real. I just felt like it, bruh. I felt like it. I got the do-rag on right now. You know, I got the waves. They're spinning underneath. Jeez, that was a blunder. That being said, in today's video, we're gonna be talking about AI. We all know AI has taken over the world, and this has led to many bad things, like the RAM prices being higher than a PS5. There is no reason why 2 sticks of 32 gigabytes of RAM should be $400 to $700. These things used to be priced at like $150 to $200, but they've completely tripled that now because of this AI takeover. And these AI data centers are consuming so much RAM to the point where Micron, the primary RAM company, isn't selling to consumers anymore and shifting their focuses to these AI data centers. It is getting very bad out here. With everyone joining the wave of AI, Elon Musk decided to also hop on the wave, and he popped out with his AI chatbot, Grok AI, which is pretty much like ChatGPT, but just Elon Musk's spin on it. And the thing about Grok AI compared to other AI chatbots is that Grok AI has less safety filters, so that Grok is more willing to answer more controversial questions, because that's more aligned with how how Elon Musk wants Twitter, so the AI is just more real and I guess less corporate. But unfortunately, since there isn't a lot of safety features compared to other AI chatbots, people are using Grok AI in a very weird way on Twitter right now. Anytime a girl posts a photo, people are asking Grok to make the woman in a bikini, and Grok is doing it because Grok has less safety features. That is the newest trend. For example, Ice Spice. We all know Ice Spice.
That's crazy. And yes, I heard of the Gronk AI because I have Twitter.
We all know her as the "You Thought I Was Feeling You" Munch Girl. I forgot what the song went like. Recently, she posted this picture on social media, and they decided to repost it on Twitter, and it shows her gym progress, which is pretty sick. You know, I think that's something fine. In the picture, it's not like she's half naked or anything. Well, someone in the comment section of that picture decided to say, @Grok, put her in a micro bikini. And that's exactly what Grok did. Now there's this picture of Ice Spice, her in this very, very, very small bikini with her cheeks hanging out. And you know, say what you want about Ice Spice's music. Yes, it's vulgar and it can be pretty sexual at times, but I just think it's very weird to take her pictures and just completely undress her with AI. Like, that's just disgusting. Like, hot take.
Yeah, that dude's probably gooning to that picture, man. You already know he is.
I know there's going to be a lot of people on Twitter disagreeing with me, crazy enough, but I don't think women should have to fear them posting a picture and then that picture being manipulated into them wearing a bikini when that's not what they posted. This isn't just affecting celebrities, it's affecting regular women. Women that just like posting selfies on social media, which is something completely normal. Another example of somebody using Grok AI in a weird way is right here, you know? This woman posted a selfie, which is pretty normal. She's showing off the fit and showing off the hair. Something completely normal, not meant to be sexual. Something that all women should be able to do. And guess what happened? Someone asked Grok to erase the dress and make her wear a transparent bikini. Guess what Grok did? It did exactly that. So the picture is more gooner friendly. Like, this whole thing is genuinely disgusting. But what's worse about this Grok AI thing is that since there's not that many safety features, people can easily make CP using this. All it takes is an underage teen and
Yeah, that's just crazy to think about. I haven't even thought about that. Like, somebody could use Grok AI to make CP. That's really disgusting. I haven't even thought about that. That is disgusting.
a quick Grok prompt, and boom, you have an underdressed. Like, this whole thing needs to get under control. This is a picture of Holly from Stranger Things, very young. And this person said, @Grok, give her a banana print bikini.
Whoa, who did that? Who would do something like that? Oh my gosh, whoever made that comment, who is this guy? Champion. Yeah, you need help. There's something wrong with you, bro. There's something wrong with you, dude.
And Grok popped it out. That is completely disgusting. If I'm not mistaken, the actor who plays Holly is, I believe, like 14, something around there, which is just disgusting. And the fact that this can happen is just weird. Another example, here's a video of a kid.
No,
right next
not the little girl. No, that's just a toddler. No way someone's doing this for a toddler. No way.
to a dog. Something completely normal. Nothing weird about this video. And somebody commented, @Grok, remove the dress. And Grok removed the dress. Like, this thing is just weird, man. And this dude, Elon Musk, he knows
Dude, Elon's got nerfed that. He has to make an update.
this is happening, and for a minute he wasn't really saying anything. He just saw a bunch of people using Grok and he was happy for that. Like this tweet right here, Grok is awesome, and this man was over here just laughing it up. Now, funny enough, before I actually recorded this video, Elon did come out and say that anyone using Grok to make illegal content will suffer the same consequences as if they upload illegal content, meaning that they're gonna get banned, stuff like that. But I think the worst part about this is just how long it went on before this man actually stepped in. Like, this man was just laughing it up for a while until he actually actually did something. And really, he hasn't really done anything yet. Like, it's still happening. Now, there are ways to turn this off, apparently. But one thing that I noticed is that it doesn't really fully work. Some people are saying that when they go through this process of them trying to turn it off, all it does is not show them the pictures that people are making, but the pictures are still there, meaning they can't see it, but everyone else can, which is just completely stupid. And the craziest part about all this is that OF girls on Twitter, which we all know, OF girls be running rampant on Twitter, promoting everywhere. It used to be really bad back in like 2021. You couldn't go to a comment section without an OF girl saying, I'm the hottest 18-year-old on OnlyFans. Whole time they're 37 years old with 5 kids. But I find it really weird that these OF girls are doing this to promote their OnlyFans, because it's making more people do this to non-OnlyFans girls. It's so crazy. But these OF girls, they don't care about that. They just care about getting more sales, unfortunately. Like, here's an example. Hey, at Grok, make her wear a bikini. And she's just quote tweeting her own tweet. And what do you think Grok did? Made her wear a bikini, man. Sophie Rain. We all know who Sophie Rain is, the TikTok OF girl who pretty much promotes her OF to kids. Don't tell Grok to remove my pants. And what do you think a bunch of people in the comment section did? Told Grok to remove her
Remove the pants.
pants. Don't tell Grok to remove my cosplay. And we all know what happens next. Like, Elon needs to get Twitter under control, man. He genuinely needs to. I actually saw this tweet, which it's a pretty long tweet, so strap in, get some popcorn real quick before I read this out to you guys. I thought it was pretty interesting while researching this video. The Grok bikini thing everyone's talking about is just the visible tip of something way darker. This is the start of a new era where everything you've ever posted online becomes a weapon that can be used against you. And I need you to understand how serious this actually is. We're not talking about Photoshop anymore. We're talking about AI models and people that can take any photo of you and generate you in any situation, any context, any scenario someone wants to create. Every image you've posted, every video where your face is visible, every public moment you share, it's all training data now. Here's what makes this different from anything we've seen before. Even if Grok gets updated to refuse these requests tomorrow, even if every major AI company builds in restrictions, it's too late. People already have access to open source models that can do the same thing. Models that run locally on their computers with zero content policies, zero restrictions, zero way for anyone to stop them. Think about what that actually means for you. Your social media history is now a library of raw material for anyone who wants to manipulate your image. Your professional photos can be placed in compromising situations you have never agreed to. Your vacation pics, your family photos, your casual selfies, all of it can be used to create content that looks completely real, which is completely disgusting. And there's no way to go back from this point. The technology is out there, fully distributed across thousands of computers, impossible to contain or control. More than ever before, you need to be extremely careful about what you post online moving forward. Everything you post online will 100% be used against you at some point, whether that's next month or 10 years from now. I don't want to be fear-mongering. This is the new reality we're living in, and most people still don't understand how serious it is. And I highly agree with that. You got to be extra careful when posting online. I remember when I was younger, adults would always say, watch what you post online, because what you post online could eventually come back to bite you in the butt, you know? But now it's getting to the point where you can't even post online. You can't post a normal photo without somebody doing something weird to it. It's so unfortunate. And all that's to say, just be careful. Be very careful now, because there are a lot of weirdos out there looking to do whatever weird things they want with your photos. You can't even post a normal selfie anymore without somebody making it weird and sexual. Like, I understand that Elon wants Twitter to be a free speech platform and he wants the AI chatbot to be able to do things that are deemed as controversial, but this man needs to tighten up what you can and can't do with Grok. I think the worst part is that it already happened, and all these pictures of certain women, people are gonna think that they're real when in reality they're not. There's probably some girl out there fighting for her life because somebody on Grok took her picture where she was fully clothed and now she's half naked. I hope Elon fixes this sooner than later. I know we saw the tweet earlier of him saying that he's pretty much gonna fix it, but he has to soon. I just think it's unfortunate that this happened.
Yeah, he's gotta fix it, man. Like, it's really, it's obviously disgusting that there's some dudes out there, making AI child pictures and just doing weird stuff to child pictures of children, I should say.
had to happen. And I don't understand how he didn't think that this was gonna happen. Like, you give people an inch and they're gonna take a mile. You give people this much free range to do whatever they want to do, they're gonna do some weird things. You can't expect everyone to just be normal when it comes to something like this. I understand Twitter is a free speech platform and Elon wants the chatbot to do things that are deemed as controversial, but creating with this AI chatbot is just, it's disgusting. Like, that's not controversial, that's illegal. This man needs to tighten up on the rules. Let me know what y'all think in the comment section below. This is gonna wrap up the video. If you guys made this far, I appreciate you. Twitch Cameron WAK, Twitter Cameron WAK, Instagram Cameron WAK, Discord link in the description. If you guys enjoyed this video, then I highly recommend you guys check out my most recent video. It'll be right up here on the screen. All that being said, thank you guys for watching.
All right, man, that was a good video. All right. Just give me 1 second. All right.
You know, every so often
All right, the dumbest video of 2026. I said 2026. Yeah. I thought it said 20. Hold on, I'm right. 2026. I'm right. I thought I said something wrong. Okay. All right. The dumbest video of 2026. All right, let's go.
You know, every so often I have to take a break from social media and just take a moment to remind myself that it's not fucking real. I feel like with the amount of time that people spend on social media nowadays, they kind of lose sense of reality, you know? It's really easy to forget the fact that all of these social media apps we use have very complex algorithms that are meant to retain your attention, all right? Snapchat, TikTok, Instagram, all of these apps make money by keeping you on the app as long as possible, and they don't care how they do this, even if you're entertained or pissed off. And because of this, I sometimes think that my For You page is trying to make me kill myself, okay? Because, oh my god, the shit that I see is absolutely unbearable. Every single day, I see a new shitty TikTok opinion, and the person making it is severely uneducated and has no idea what they are talking about. Every single time, they just make a baseless claim based on their subjective experience that they use to generalize, or they're just clearly regurgitating what they see on TikTok because they're chronically online, or they have to be rage baiting, because some of the shit they say, I couldn't fathom that they're being serious. And this is especially when it comes to, like, dating. Oh my god, dude.
Oh, yep, of course. Sounds like somebody's about to say something stupid about relationships and dating.
Creating content on social media is like straight cancer. Like I said before, it is almost always just based on subjective experience and overall just spite towards the other gender. You will see some quote-unquote alpha male talking about how he cheats on all 8 of his girlfriends because when he was broke, his girlfriend cheated on him and broke his heart with a rich dude. And it's just like, dude, what the fuck? And then you'll scroll to the next video and it'll be some chick with like 200,000 likes and she'll be like, oh, men don't do this anymore. Chivalry is dead. And she's complaining about how some guy ghosted her after she let him hit on the first date. And it's just like, no, motherfucker, you're just an outdoor ball. Like, what are you talking about? Like, dude, any of those red pill content creators who act like they know anything about women, they don't know shit. Okay? First of all, look at them. Look at fucking Myron Gaines and his goddamn guard dog. Like the Whatever podcast, bro? Are you kidding me? Who is this guy? Like, who is this old dude? Why are you... And then second of all, dude, their entire content is solely based around just, like, owning women, you know? Proving them wrong on camera and embarrassing them, right? But then you find out, and you know, this whole time, I thought they were, like, inviting these women who wanted to be on the podcast. You know, these are people who, like, kind of talk about the stuff they talk about. No, They're just random fucking women they find on the streets of Miami and just invite them over and fucking just argue with them on camera and embarrass them. And you know, they're fucking airhead Miami chicks who aren't well versed in the fucking conversation they're even talking about. So obviously, you know, they win the argument, they prove them wrong, they own them. But it's like, dude, this is just some random girl on the street, bro. Like, why are you?
Yeah, this type of like, let me go back.
But it's like, dude, this is just some random girl.
Yeah, this type of content used to be like super popular, and back in like what 2022 and early 2023. Yeah, that sort of content used to be so popular. Just there was just constant clips going viral of women getting owned or women like feminists or whatever getting owned in a debate or argument, you know, that sort of content.
Girl on the street, bro. Like, why are you like, what? It's literally just like the same thing every time. Okay, the woman makes a stupid point, and then the host immediately counteracts it with some prepared response that he already had in his head. Okay, and it's just like, why? What do you gain from this? Is that fucking Charlie Kirk? And then they post it, get millions of views, and then all the people who like are chronicling online see this and think, you know what, bro? Women are actually like this. And it's not even like the misogynistic podcasters too. Okay, like fucking Clavicular, right? We've been talking about him recently. Dude, I have seen stream clips of this kid, and he will like verbally assault a woman, call her a 6 out of 10, and then proceed to be like, I want to touch your tits. You're fucking hot. And she'll like flirt back with him.
Definitely need infraorbital implants right here. She's actually pretty cute. She's cute. She's almost there. And we need to do aqua look here and get a little leaner, and then you'll be good. You want me to fix these? Okay. We'll do that. I'll give her a 6 out of 10. Like, you know where this is going. Like,
I don't.
this is going at you in my bed later.
A 6 is crazy, so you're a shader right now.
A 6 is crazy. Do you want me to be a liar? So I won't lie to you. I'm trying to give those the feel right now. What do you say?
No, not right now.
Not right now. So later tonight?
Maybe.
And you know, motherfuckers consume this shit, and they're like, oh, women just care about looks. Oh my god. We're just like, dude, no. Okay, 99, like this motherfucker Clav, his idea of Riz is just being like, let me take you back to my fucking car. Let's have sex in my back seat. He'll literally just say that on camera, and the women fold. You know, and it's like, I mean, good for him, I guess.
I mean, it's because of his looks. That's why.
That's cool, but it's like people see that and think it's real life. But it's like, no, if you go up to a woman and say, let's go to my car and fucking crack, she's gonna slap you in the face 9 times out of 10, even if you're attractive. Like, most women have self-respect, believe it or not. But then these streamers and podcasters take these random, terrible examples of women, shove a camera in their face, embarrass them on camera, and post it for everyone to see. And hopefully you guys get what I'm trying to say. Like, for some reason on social media, all these dudes just think that women are these heartless, money-sucking fucking demons. And a bunch of these girls just think that these dudes are like pieces of shit who will just fuck anything with no manners. And it's like, that's why you need to take a step back and remember, this isn't real. Social media isn't fucking real. The only videos that go viral and get pushed out to a lot of people are the crazy, outlandish ones. The ones that strike emotion in the viewer, the ones that cause controversy. So obviously, when you open up your phone and scroll on TikTok, you're gonna see a bunch of crazy bullshit that you disagree with. And the same thing applies to women content creators as well. You know, women on social media will date like the shittiest fucking dude. They will get like cheated on with their goddamn cousin. Okay? And then they'll make a video talking as if they know like the entire psychology of men as a whole.
Wait, what does that say?
And then they'll make a video talking as if they
Men want a family for the sake of male validation. Okay.
know like the entire psychology of men as a whole. Like, I saw this one video of this girl talking about the Wolf of Wall Street and how men kind of idolize Jordan Belfort and miss the whole like real premise and message of the movie, which I totally agree with. But then I scroll to the comments, and it's some girl saying like, I'm solely convinced that Jordan Belfort's life is every man's dream life, you know? Every single man, the majority of men on this planet with dream life is to sell penny stocks to people and rip them off and live a drug-induced life full of hookers and fucking sex, you know? And you know, like, I understand.
Not me, man. Not me, dude. That's not my dream life.
understand where she's coming from. Like, a lot of young men do enjoy those things, but it's like, you think that's the majority of men's dream life? You think every guy stays 23 forever? Are you fucking kidding me? Like, let's be honest here. The majority of men's dream life is a fucking NBA player, NFL player, NHL, a professional athlete in some sort of way. Like, dude, I have my dream job. This is a job that I am so lucky to have. But if someone told me, hey, yo, the Spurs are trying to sign you to a 10-day contract, bro, I'm fucking signing it. But dude, that was like a serious TikTok comment I saw in that.
I mean, look. I mean, what I'm doing right now, it is... Wait, what? Oh, you said F nah. I need a garage full of cars and a massive car collection. I mean, honestly, yeah, I want a nice car. A nice car would be cool. You know, living in a nice state like Florida or Texas. Maybe Tennessee would be nice, or you know, have a good family. You know, have a couple of kids. You know, a couple of athletic sons would be nice too. Yeah, that's pretty much my dream, and traveling all over the world as well, and doing this for a living. That is my dream.
Video, like, I wish I took a screenshot of it, but yeah, she literally said, I think the majority of men would live the life of Jordan Belfort if they could choose, if they had any chance at any dream.
Yeah, definitely not that sort of life. No.
Life. And you know, when it comes to people like that, I'm convinced they either A, have just dated terrible people or know terrible men, B, have never gone outside, because if you just went outside and socialized, you would realize that's not the case, or C, they're just chronically
A man got his priorities straight.
online and regurgitating what they've seen on TikTok. And I don't think they're rage baiting either. So, like, yeah, that has to. How else do you come to the conclusion of like that? Because there's no way people
Sorry.
who live productive and social and valid lives that they're happy with and like know a lot of people agree. Do you know what I'm saying? Like, real people don't think like this. Here's another example of women just thinking men are fucking heartless. My friend, the Angry Asian, sent me this video on TikTok. And basically, I'm sure we all know about, like, the performative male joke by now. And basically, it's the idea that men do a lot of things performatively, like solely for other people's validations. And for the meme specifically, it's like drinking matcha, collecting Labubus, reading feminist literature, you know, shit like that. And basically, I saw this video of this girl saying that men who have families, like they start fucking families, it's performative. Men start families because it raises their status to other men. I'm not kidding.
Men want a family for the sake of male validation. Here's my
Huh? Male validation.
unpopular opinion. They want a wife, they want kids, and they want the family unit, not because they really like those things, but because they want to impress other men. I think when you have all of those things, it kind of elevates your status as a man. Not only does it elevate your status in society, it also elevates your status socially among other men. I think this is like the ultimate status symbol for men, showing that they made it in life. I think men really like the idea and aesthetic of having a family, but they also don't want to take
Yeah,
an
I don't know what they're on. Like, what is she on about?
active role in raising kids, for example, and they want to be as passive as possible.
That is a real video, by the way. I went through her profile and she was not joking. But either way, according to this girl, men don't have kids and start families because they actually... But either way, it is a real video, by the way. I went through her profile and she was not joking.
Like, does she actually believe this, or is she trying to go viral?
Okay, but either way, according to this girl, men don't have kids and start families because they actually like them and love them or whatever. They start them because they want to be cooler to other men. They want to seem more impressive because apparently having a family boosts your status as a man. Now, while I don't necessarily disagree with that statement, I definitely think becoming a father does make you a better man. It definitely boosts your value. But like, do you not have a fucking father? This woman's father definitely, like, he must have left her, right? Like, what are you talking about, bro?
Men want a family for the sake of male validation. They want a wife, they want kids, and they want the family unit, not because they really like those things, but because they want to impress other men.
Like, first things first, this video is just dehumanizing the shit out of men, okay? Like, what do you mean you don't think a man is capable of just wanting to start a family genuinely? Like, you don't think that they don't derive joy from seeing their offspring, like, running around and really? You don't think there's a literal chemical fucking reaction when a guy has a child with a woman that he loves? Like, what are you talking about? But then second of all, let's forget the human side of this, okay? Let's talk about this logically. This is the dumbest shit I have ever heard, bro. What, you think dudes are out here working 70 hours a week for fucking aura? You think they're doing that to boost their status of a... No! Like...
No. For aura. She said she can't be talking. She looked kind of mid. Maybe a little under.
Just looking at this from an investment standpoint, from like a financial standpoint, I don't think the amount of money it costs to raise a fucking family, to take care of a wife and kids, is worth the aura boost you get from your homies when you tell them you have a family, you know?
Yeah, just finding a woman, reproducing with her, having kids, just to boost your aura is just absolutely crazy.
Of that, dude, what do you think other men think when they hear some guy has a family? You think they're like, oh shit, he has a wife and kids, bro, that's hard as fuck, he's established? Like, no, dude, they're like, cool, good for you. Like, what? Yo, swear to God, you really started a family? No, you didn't. Swear, put it on God, bro. You nutting her? You nutting your... Oh, was she moaning? Oh, dude, you're him. You're the goat.
Men want a family for the sake of male validation. They want a wife, they want kids, and they want the family unit, not because they really like those things, but because they want to impress other men.
That sentence right there, just, I really do think her father just left. Why would she make this video if she had a father, you know? I feel like whenever girls make videos complaining about men, oh, men don't do this, men are shitty, they're just kind of exposing themselves because, you know, clearly you just fuck with a bunch of shitty men and only shitty men give you time of the day. Otherwise, you know, you wouldn't think about this. You wouldn't really think this.
I mean, there's just no way she actually believes what she's saying. I'm just hoping that she's just trying to go viral.
But... And they just basically saying that they're an outdoor ball. Like, men are still gentlemen. They just aren't gentlemen for the wrong women. And they probably just wanted to fuck you. And then this girl is kind of just doing the same shit. Like, there's no reason to say this other than the fact that your father was a shitty dad. Like, your dad probably maybe, like, and that's what it is. Maybe it was just the bad part of the bunch, but now she's generalizing all men. And it's just like, come on, we're not in 5th grade, bruh. Why? That's also just a crazy sentence in general. Starting a fucking family for aura. Like, what? Now, I was going to end
just
the video...
to boost that aura. Yeah, just for your aura to go up. Just find a woman, reproduce with her, and then have kids, like have multiple kids, just to boost your aura.
Here,
Crazy.
I decided to scroll through this girl's profile, and I came across another video, which I found very interesting.
My one qualm with marriage is I'm really not a big fan of the whole a man choosing a woman idea. And I'm talking about heterosexual marriages. Generally speaking, the man proposes in the marriage, but I think there's a couple of things that sort of bother me about this. I think when a man proposes, it does kind of reinforce the idea of a woman being chosen and picked by a man. It kind of gives me the idea of, oh, I as a man believe you're good enough as a woman to be my wife. And I think it's a little bit problematic because I do see a slight power imbalance in that.
You said dad definitely left the milk. You said dad definitely left for milk and never came back.
Woman must prove herself good enough to be chosen by a man, and it gives men this sense of belief that they get to pick what woman they want. Further upholds this idea that women must prove themselves to men in order to be considered valuable or worthy by society. I don't really have a solution for this, but it's just like a random thought I've been having.
All right, so basically this woman
what
is
is
saying
she-
that she doesn't
What was she on about, man?
like how men propose to women because it's basically saying that the man has the power and the woman has to be worthy enough for the man, blah, blah, blah. First things first, why don't you propose? That's the easiest solution to this, bro. You can propose to the guy. That might not be the traditional way of doing it, but you are literally complaining about the traditional way. Second of all, she's talking about how, men...
Complaining about the traditional way, like, yeah, that would be, like, imagine just a woman proposing to you. Like, you would just feel like, man, what's the right word? You just feel like feminine, or you just feel zesty.
get to choose this. Dude, women run the fucking world. What do you mean? Just about everything that men do in general is for women validation in some sort of capacity. We live in a gender role society where it is socially acceptable for the man to have to chase you. The man has to chase you, to pay for you, to take care of you, okay? The man has to be the guy to provide for you. Otherwise, he is looked at as less of a man. So why the fuck would men not get to choose who they want to marry? Oh wait, they don't. You know why? Because when you propose to someone, guess what they have to say for you to get married? They have to say yes. The woman has to accept the man's proposal, okay? And oh wait, aren't they dating before he proposes too? Didn't he have to ask her out and she says yes? Didn't she choose to fucking date him before? Did she not choose the man? Wait. And then finally, none of that even matters because guess what? When you marry someone, you love that person, okay? You don't give a shit if, oh, the man's choosing me, this, that. You are happy because you are spending the rest of your life with the love of your life, okay? Like, no one in a happy marriage is thinking about that bullshit. Oh, the only people thinking about this shit are people like this chick who are either fucking chronically online or have just dealt with terrible men. Like, yeah, the man proposes to the woman after he buys her the ring and pays for all of her shit and takes care of her for X amount of years, you know? And you're still complaining. When in reality, it's like, it's a two-way fucking street, bro. Like, marriage isn't transactional. Like, like, you genuinely should really never have this fucking thought. Unless you just have terrible experience with men. Starting with your father, which is what I think this girl went through. Alright, guys, that's probably going to...
Yeah, Dad definitely left him for sure. Left her for sure.
Be the video. When it comes to my final thoughts, just turn off your phone. Do me a favor, like the video, subscribe, and just turn off your fucking phone or laptop or whatever you're watching on this. And just remember, social media is not real life. Okay, it really isn't. I genuinely, there's been times where I'll be scrolling on my bed on my phone. And I'm just like, dude, like, fuck, like the dating scene's kind of. But then I'm just like, wait, what am I talking about? This is all on my, like I know people in real life. Like, you know what I'm saying? So, yeah, that's pretty much basically what I'm trying to say. But, yeah, that's pretty much going to be the video, guys. Hope you all enjoyed it. Hope I educated at least one of you. If you liked the video, subscribe. If you didn't, fuck you. And, yeah, thanks for watching. Peace out.
Yes, you said something a crossbreed of a rat and turtle would say. What? What? A crossbreed of a rat and turtle. That is crazy. All right. I'm gonna get on. I'm gonna get on college football right now. I'll react to more videos tomorrow. I'm whispering because everybody's going to sleep. Alright. I'm on Dynasty mode, and as you can see, I'm rebuilding South Carolina. My team. I'm just gonna play like a few games, and then I'll get on Dispatch. Okay, as of right now, we're 4-3. Not doing well, unfortunately. Hold on, let's sign in. All right, let's go.
Some would call it swag, some call it cockiness, some would call it being a diva. But when you're good, it's not bragging. And elite wide receivers and the confidence they exude often permeates an entire team, and we're going to see a couple of examples of that in this one. Welcome everyone to Williams-Brice Stadium, home of the South Carolina Gamecocks. As we'll see the number 21 team in the country, the LSU Tigers, taking on a squad hoping to prevent another L this week, the South Carolina Gamecocks. For EA Sports College Football, I'm Reese Davis, here with David Pollack and Jesse Palmer. Guys, let's get this thing rolling.
All right, we don't play a lot of defense. If you know, you know. Sorry.
Looking for a physical attack from the gun. And they'll move the
All right,
chains
good
and
run,
get it
good
to the
run.
47-yard line.
Defense is going to have their hands full trying to get this guy in the ground, man. He's got some serious moves once he has the ball in his hand.
And the defense holds firm. No pickup at all on that play. They got nothing on the last play. It's 2nd and 10. Looking to throw, it's Moffitt. Just a short pass to the tight end. And they'll stop him just short of the first down, just inches away from moving the sticks. On 3rd and short, they'll try to throw for it. Oh, they really could have used that catch there.
All right, let's go for it. Let's go for it.
Defense, it brings up a 4th down. This offense gets into plus territory. They're going to go for it regardless of their field goal kicker's range.
Wide open.
Catch, converts on 4th down.
Let's
Still
go.
on his feet. And he ran away from the defense to take it in. Touchdown, Gamecocks.
And that's why this running back is so dangerous. He's not just handing him off the football, but he's a weapon in the passing game. You see his ability to catch it, turn upfield, make people miss, and find the end zone.
Setting up for the extra point after the first score of the game. They'll start this drive from the 42.
All right, all right.
From the gun, the running back has it. Creating some space, getting just enough good blocking, and they've got it up to the 47-yard line. Halfway there on 1st down, it's 2nd and 5. moving away from pressure. Got away from trouble and got rid of it.
When you talk about versatility at the running back spot, you got to talk about this guy in the conversation.
He was so
He already
chill.
has caught a touchdown in this one. They're still trying to throw
Yeah.
him the football. That one.
Alright, sorry guys. Unfortunately, I gotta end it. Yeah, my sister can hear me talk, unfortunately. Well, thank you. Thank you for stopping by. Thanks for tapping in. And I should be live tomorrow. Have a good night.